Vampire Diaries. This is my obsession.
And mine.
And mine.
For 4 seasons, supernatural creatures have taken over our blog.
There's vampires, werewolves, doppelgangers,
witches,
and even hybrids.
There are those that ship them.
And there are those that stand them. And then there's us, the TumbleCon planners, the podcast Lamb,
Brianna,
Yolanda,
Mel, Andrea,
and Lynne.
We are the TVD TumbleCon committee. Alright, well, I guess I should first start off by saying that we finally have a set week for our auctions for everyone who follows all the goings-on on our blog. We have a fan art auction starting next week from March 31st until April 6th. There will be a link in the description for this video to link you to our live journal where the auctions will be taking place. We'll have various artists' samples for you to buy commissions or pre-made art. And of course it is an auction, so everybody will be bidding. So I think that's about it. Well, we should have a bunch of stuff explaining how everything works on the live journal once we have our master post up. So, alright. So first, we should probably recap 417, right?
Yeah. Because of the night, is that what it's called?
I think so.
Yeah, because of the night.
Yeah. So 417 because of the night. First, the episode starts off with a flashback from the 70s of Damon being a serial killer.
Yeah.
He was getting IDs for Will, or whatever his name was.
Yes.
And then that allowed him to feed in Will's club.
Yes.
Yes. I guess I was a little bit surprised to see, because when we learned about all the Ripper Stefan stuff going on, I would have thought that if Damon had a past that was similar to that, he would have brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I was a little surprised to see Damon with his humanity off and sort of being a serial killer. The son of Giuseppe is what they called him.
So he's like, "Are you the son of Sam?" He's like, "Son of Giuseppe." Close enough.
Because that was a real father's name.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a flashback to the 70s, and Damon was in his guy liner and his punk rock outfit.
Yes.
And after that, of course, we see Damon telling Elena that he brought her to New York to feed on people and have fun.
Yes.
And I know that there was a lot of talk on Tumblr. I know there was a lot of back and forth stuff about how one minute he wants her to act like a vampire, and then the next minute he thinks that she will regret everything that she's doing. Mm-hmm. Have you guys seen the posts about that?
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really read them in depth yet, but yeah, I've gotten that kind of gist on Tumblr.
Alright, right here, there's a parallel between Elena's moment with Stefan in 416 and her moment with Damon in 417, where it says Damon's the one who forced Elena to turn her emotions off after telling Stefan for the entire season that she should act like a vampire and encouraging her to kill people, while Stefan was trying to protect Elena's humanity since 402. Damon's been pushing her to turn it off and shrugging it off with "it happens to the best of us, she'll get over it," in the same episode that he claims to be protecting her. He told her to kill and pretty much do whatever she wants, since death goes unnoticed. The only person he's protecting is himself and his own guilt. How do you guys feel about that?
I find that so not right. I don't agree with it at all.
See, Yeah. The thing is that, well, at least what I saw in this episode, like when he's telling her to do that, it was just, him putting on this facade that he's, going to be the fun brother, just so she'll go along with him. He's going to keep a close eye on her. He's not going to let her go off, like, just, while he does what he's supposed to do, just to, it's a story for her. This is what we're here for, even though it's completely not what they're there for. Because, exactly. Yeah, and like in the beginning of the season, when he does like just want her to feed and stuff, he still like he understood that she had a big, strong sense of herself, and she'd still have her morals and stuff, but like he just wanted her.
If she ever tasted human blood, she would be like Stefan, and he didn't want that for her.
Yeah, he wanted her to
have it to be a regular thing.
He wanted her to have fun and to revel in it so she didn't go crazy. But with her emotions off, she doesn't care how far she takes things. That's just how she is. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. But when she does turn on those emotions, she will. She'll get pissed, like, really upset with herself with everything that she's done. Mm-hmm. And like, killing somebody is different than just feeding on them, like, just completely, like, who knows how far she'll take things instead of her just having fun,
And in New York, Damon took her there to, like, give her a distraction and told her to do all these things so he could go find the cure for her.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So. And a big common misconception that I see a lot of people talking about is saying that Damon was encouraging her to kill, which isn't true. He was saying if you're going to kill, you might as well be somewhere where it's not going to be noticed. But never once did I say that see him say that she should be killing. He said to feed off humans, because she needs to learn to control her bloodline.
But he also wants to take her away from her.
Yeah.
And one thing is, it's good that he took her away from Mystic Falls, because, other thing about her being in New York and kind of having fun with that is that she's away from the people she cares about. Because the last episode, she hurt Caroline.
Right.
This is taking her away from Mystic Falls, away from all the people she cares about. She can be let loose in New York, a bunch of people she doesn't have any emotional connection to. Just, get her away from Mystic Falls, because that's the stuff that she's going to regret the most.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been discussing, of course, too, how they think Elena's humanity will be turned back on. Do you guys have any theories?
Yeah.
I think it'll probably, I don't know. I keep thinking that it'll be a slow and steady type of thing. And just make her, I don't know, I think this is just a way to make her change her perspective on things, and her finding her emotions again is just, it's going to be her big, like, new character development part, because, I don't know, I think it's something that they're going to stretch out for a while.
Right. I think it's another obstacle for her to grow from.
Yeah.
After everything she's been going through.
See, I'm completely different. I'm all about Delena angst. So I think since it's been foreshadowed that Damon's probably going to turn human, or maybe die or something the end of this season, I think it's going to be brought back when Damon dies. Or if he gets turned back.
See, there's this one really interesting theory that's been circling around Tumblr, is that you know how Damon, he's like trying to push Elena to take the cure? Well, people are starting to think, well, maybe Elena is going to be the one to give Damon the cure, to get it out of her, get it away from her.
I know, I heard that. Oh my God.
Force him to take it?
Yeah. Force him to take it, see how he likes it. And when her emotions are off, she doesn't care, but then she's going to start feeling guilty about it. Because she's going to see how much she did not want it. This is probably going to give the writers their chance to make it where Damon's actually mad at Elena, and Elena has to go for Damon's forgiveness this time. And it's going to be a nice parallel to The Last Day, Season 2, Last Day, when he forced her to drink his blood.
Yeah.
It will be huge parallel between that, and you know how the writers love their parallel.
That's so much angst too. I'd actually enjoy that if that happened.
Yeah.
I think it would be really interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about her forcing him to take the cure. That would be really insane. I'm not completely opposed to it, but I'm not completely for the idea either.
Mm-hmm.
What's really funny is, of course, I have to bring this up. Normally, I'm the one to bring Alaric into something, but I actually thought that it would be something that Damon would do to bring her humanity back, some way that she would hurt him and see what she's done, and it would be a sort of repercussion from that. But I was actually rewatching the last episode with my mom today, and she brought up that when they sort of let loose the other side, she thinks that, like, Alaric and, everyone who's going to come back from that, it's going to be so overwhelming emotionally for her that it would sort of bring something back. She said, Alaric might be the one to convince her, since he was sort of like her guidance as a human. And I personally think that it would probably be a mixture of everyone, because under those circumstances she would see Alaric, and she'd see Jenna, and she'd probably see Jeremy, and everything like that. So I think that's a really cool theory as well.
And I have no idea what's going to be happening on that side. Like, after all this stuff with the witches and all the sacrifices are all complete now, I have no idea what the hell's going to happen with that.
Yeah, I know, because they need the cure now to break through to the other side. I don't know what they're supposed to do with it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's only one more step before they do.
Apparently there's a new spoiler. Yeah. That Lena's going to be making Damon really, really upset. I'm thinking it's because of her kiss with Elijah that's supposedly happening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I think
out of everything that's been happening, that's going to be the least of his concerns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to care about that much.
Right. A lot of people have been... I've also seen a theory that Elena might force Catherine to take the cure.
That'd be the best. I'd kill her afterwards, please.
I don't know. I wouldn't blame Elena if she killed Catherine. To me, that would show that she has emotions, though. I think she's more likely to kill Catherine if her emotions are on. But I don't want her to kill off Catherine, only because I really like the sort of mystery. Even though you can kind of tell when it's Catherine versus when it's Elena, if they're trying to pretend to be each other, I like the mystery of never knowing when one of the other might pop into a scene or take the other place. I like that, and I think that's a big part of the main plot, is having that confusion and distinguishing between them.
Yeah, I do. I love that too.
Yeah, and so even though I don't dislike Catherine, but I don't have any particular love for her. But I also think that she kind of brings the cocky, overconfidence to the show, which we had with Rebecca, but now that Rebecca will be leaving to do the spin-off, we won't have that with her anymore.
I love seeing Nina do two characters. She's so good at it. I know a lot of people are thinking, right now Elena is acting very, Catherine-like, but, the way that Nina is personifying each, Elena with her emotions on, Elena with her emotions off, Vampire Elena, Human Elena, Catherine, Human Catherine, all that.
I know.
She just does it all, so separately, and there's just so many different characters. I love Nina Dobrev so much. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I completely agree with you. I think they're all very separate characters. I think Elena, acting-wise, I can still distinguish between Elena with her humanity off and Catherine, but I feel like they are blending, like the line between them is blurring a little bit. But there's still a difference. You can definitely still see the difference between no emotions and emotions. Because Catherine has always had a certain playfulness to her or vulnerability.
She's always had emotions on, as far as I know, because she always felt that for Stefan.
Yeah.
So.
And then, of course, we saw the scene in season 2 where she's looking at the old portraits of her family.
Oh my gosh.
And she gets emotional. Yeah. So...
See, that's one thing about Catherine. She's very good at being selective with her emotions. You know, letting in the emotions she wants and the ones that she doesn't want. It seems...
Right.
Only letting it in on certain moments. She's very good control over her emotions.
Yeah. I don't think necessarily it's all control either, but she's had to learn to be numb, and she kind of, like, keeps herself distant, specifically for the reason of not getting attached to anybody, because she's always been on the run, sort of thing.
Yeah, and being for a vampire for so long probably has some of that with it, too.